Now our next topic is elastic collision in two dimension. So we already discussed the two cases of collision which we are going to discuss in this chapter. Collision in one dimension and collision in two dimension. So here we have elastic collision in two dimension. That means we are assuming the colliding particles to be moving in a plane. So in the simple case, we consider a fast moving, that means a moving object making collision with a stationary object. That means first body of mass m1 is moving with a velocity u1 and the second body it is at rest, that is u2 is equal to 0. And after collision m1 and m2 they move in two different directions with velocities v1 and v2. And their directions after collisions make angles theta 1 and theta 2 with the directions of initial velocity. So with the direction of initial velocity, that is u1, the angle made by v1 is theta 1 and that made by v2 is theta 2. So this is the situation that is given. So as we did in elastic collision in one dimension, we have to obtain expression for v1 and v2. Not only v1 and v2, we have to find theta 1 and theta 2 also. That means in this problem or in this situation, we have four unknowns to be found. Which are the four unknowns? v1, v2, theta 1 and theta 2. Then only our discussion on elastic collision in two dimension will be complete. So you know from mathematics, to obtain four unknowns, we have to frame at least four mathematical equations. In the case of elastic collision in one dimension, we had only two unknowns which are v1 and v2. So it was enough for us to frame two mathematical equations and solve. That's what we did in elastic collision in one dimension. But in two dimension, we have altogether four unknowns. To get the four unknowns, we need altogether four, that means at least four mathematical equations. So that is the first step. We have to frame four mathematical equations. To frame those equations, what we can use, it is only the law of conservation of momentum and law of conservation of kinetic energy. When we think about law of conservation of kinetic energy, we have the expression that is half m1 u1 square equal to half m1 v1 square plus half m2 v2 square, because kinetic energy is a scalar quantity. So when we come to two dimension, we have to consider scalar and vector quantities. So this is the equation for the conservation of kinetic energy. So we got one equation and how much we want is 4. So 3 more equations we need. Now we apply the law of conservation of linear momentum. You know, momentum is a vector quantity. So in terms of vectors, we can do it. Hence, to apply the law of conservation of momentum, we are resolving the momenta into two components as given. So as it is shown, m1 v1. So this is m1 v1, that is resolved into two components, m1 v1 cos theta 1 and m1 v1 sin theta 1, that is in upward direction. Likewise, m2 v2 is resolved. This is m2 v2, that m2 v2 is resolved into m2 v2 cos theta 2 and m2 v2 sin theta 2. So you can see that the two components m1 v1 cos theta 1 and m2 v2 cos theta 2, they are in the same direction, and m1 v1 sin theta 1 and m2 v2 sin theta 2, they are in opposite direction. So we can apply the law of conservation of momentum component wise. That means since momentum is a vector quantity, its conservation means it should be conserved in both horizontal and vertical directions. So when we apply the law of conservation of momentum in horizontal direction, our expression becomes that is m1 v1 cos theta 1 plus m2 v2 cos theta 2 is equal to, that is the total momentum after collision in horizontal direction. Now, which is the total momentum before collision in the horizontal direction? In the horizontal direction, this is the momentum before collision. That means m1 u1. So, our equation becomes m1 u1 is equal to m1 v1 cos theta 1 plus m2 v2 cos theta 2. That is in x direction or horizontal direction. In vertical direction, our velocities or momenta after collision, they are m1 v1 sin theta 1 upwards and m2 v2 sin theta 2 downwards. So, the sum of both, it becomes m1 v1 sin theta 1 minus m2 v2 sin theta 2. And you know, in vertical direction, before collision, there is no momentum. Okay, so that total momentum before collision in y direction is equal to 0. So our equation becomes m1 v1 sin theta 1 minus m2 v2 sin theta 2, it is equal to 0. So that is how we get the equations 2 and 3. That means by applying law of conservation of linear momentum in x and y directions. So we got 2 more equations. Now we have 3 equations. So as I said earlier, we need at least 4 equations to get v1, v2, theta 1 and theta 2. But we got only 3 equations. So to solve such problems in 2 dimension, what method we adopt is this. Out of these 4 unknowns, one we will be finding experimentally. By the method of experiments, we will find one unknown, and after that using these 3 equations we can find the 3 unknowns. So this is the usual method which we follow in solving 2-dimensional collisions. Now we will discuss example 613, which is based on elastic collision in 2 dimension. So consider such a collision between 2 billiard balls with masses m1 equal to m2. So billiard balls, they are having equal masses. First ball is called Q and the second ball is called the target. The billiard player wants to sink the target ball in a corner pocket which is at an angle theta 2 equal to 37 degree. Assume that the collision is elastic and that friction and rotational motion are not important. Obtain theta 1. So we are asked to find theta 1. Theta 2 is given as 37. So in this solution, we proceed as usual. First, we will write the equation based on law of conservation of momentum. Here we are writing vector equation as such, not in terms of components. So we have from conservation of momentum m1 u1 equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2, where u1, v1 and v2 are the velocity which are vectors, and here m1 is equal to m2. So the equation gets simplified as u1 is equal to v1 plus v2. Now for this equation, we are taking dot product with the same equation. Okay, just we say no, multiplying the above equation with the same equation in that way, we take the dot product with the same equation. Therefore, u1 dot u1 is equal to v1 plus v2 dot v1 plus v2. All are vectors. Now just expanding, we have u1 square equal to v1 square plus v1 dot v2 plus v2 dot v1 plus v2 square, because v1 dot v1 and v2 dot v2, it is just like a dot a. You know a dot a is a square. We have already discussed, and we know v1 dot v2 and v2 dot v1 also are same. So we can write that terms, the two terms, as 2v1 dot v2. So in short, u1 square is equal to v1 square plus v2 square plus 2v1 dot v2. Let that be equation 1. Now from the conservation of kinetic energy, you know, we have half mu1 square is equal to half mv1 square plus half mv2 square. That is u1 square is equal to v1 square plus v2 square, that is equation 2. Now equation 1 and 2, when we compare, their left hand sides are same, that is u1 square. Right hand sides, two terms are same, that means v1 square plus v2 square. So for the two equations to be correct, the only possibility is this: 2v1 dot v2 should be equal to 0. Then only the two equations will be satisfied. That means we have 2 into v1 dot v2 equal to 0. 2 will not be equal to 0, so the only possibility is v1 dot v2 equal to 0. What is the expansion of v1 dot v2? You know, it is v1 v2 cos theta 1 plus theta 2 equal to 0, because the angle between v1 and v2, it is the sum of angles theta 1 and theta 2. So we have cos theta 1 plus theta 2 equal to 0, which is possible only if theta 1 plus theta 2 equal to 90 degree. Theta 2 is already given as 37, which gives theta 1 as 53 degree. So our answer to the question is 53 degree. Now there is a note here, that is collision in one dimension is also called as head-on collision, and the collision in two dimension is also called as oblique collision. With that, we wind up today's lesson. Thank you.